Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rana Ravi from MSME and Startup Committee, ICAI. I would like to welcome our speaker, CA Priya Agrawal ma'am, and our coordinator, CA Sipra Rumata ma'am, for today's Pathshala session. Sipra ma'am, over to you.
A very good afternoon to one and all, and I, CA Shipra Rumta, welcomes Priya ma'am, CA Priya Agrawal on this MSME Pathshala web series. And CA Priya Agarwal ma'am is a fellow chartered accountant and she is based in Gangatok and she's from Siliguri, West Bengal. She has completed her BCom honors in accountancy from Siliguri College of Commerce in the year 2011 and simultaneously has also qualified her chartered accountancy examination in November 2011. Thereafter, she was working with Agarwal Sham Kumar and Associates, chartered accountants until 2019 January. After that, she got married to Mr. Amit Agarwal from Ganesh Bandar, Tibet Road, Gangtok, and post-marriage, she opened her chamber in Gangtok and started her own practice. She has held the post of Special Invitee Member of the Committee of Public Finance and Government Accounting of EIRC of ICAI for the financial year 2022 and 23 and is a co-opted member of Women's and Excellence Committee of ICAI for the financial year 24-25. And very recently, she has shifted from job sector and is currently associated with Sikkim IFCO Organics Limited in the capacity of CFO cum manager for finance and accounts. She is very fond of reading books, listening to music, and singing. She has a very deep interest in mythology and is eager to learn new languages. So thank you so much, CA Priya Agarwal ma'am, for accepting the invite, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shipra. A very good afternoon to all. How many of them are there, Shipra? If you can let me know.
Ma'am, all they are joined in another portal that
Achha.
calls, different portal. So
Okay.
they will just write down any queries or something will happen.
Okay, no issues. Thank you. Thank you. So very good afternoon to all present. See, I've not prepared a very, attractive PPT and something or all like that, since I just want to deliberate whatever knowledge I have. So I'll just share the screens. I've just mentioned the points so in the on the PPT, nothing else. I'll just share what I know, what I can let you know about what knowledge I have, what I can impart to you all. So our topic for today is benefits available to small businesses. Before going to that, first we all should know what is a MSME. MSME stand for micro, small and medium enterprises. What is a micro enterprise? First of all, it is governed by MSMED Act. MSMED Act means Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Development Act. This act was prepared by the government in order for the development of the MSMEs. So how can they be developed? How can they be progressed? Since our country basically contains of much more of MSMEs. So there was a need for their development. How could they be develop them? So this act was brought into force in the year 2006. Now coming to this MSME is divided into three kinds of enterprises. One is micro. M stands for the first M stands for micro. Then comes S, which stands for small. After that, another M, which stands for medium, E for enterprises. Coming to micro enterprises. Micro enterprises, they are enterprises which have a turnover of rupees 1 crore, less than rupees 1, investment in plant and machinery of rupees 1 crore plus turnover of rupees 5 crores. Any such businesses, they are called micro enterprises. Coming to small enterprises, these are enterprises where investment in plant and machinery is more than 1 crores but up to 5 crores, and the turnover for one financial year is more than rupees 5 crores but less than rupees 10 crores. Sorry, 50 crores. This is small enterprises. Then coming to medium enterprises. What are medium enterprises? Where the investment in plant and machinery is more than rupees 50 crores, but less where the investment in machinery is more than rupees 10 crores but less than 50 crores, and where the turnover is more than rupees 50 crores but investment in plant and machinery is less than rupees 250 crores. Any enterprise where the turnover is more than rupees 50 crores and the investment where the turnover is more than 250 crores and the investment in plant and machinery is more than 50 crores, it does not fall under the ambit of MSME. They are classified as large enterprises. So, having known what is MSME, we will now come to the benefits which are available for MSME small businesses. In order to claim the benefits of MSMEs, we have to have an identity that we are MSMEs. Now, what is the identity? Like, we all have identity. If someone wants to greet me, someone wants to talk to me, they have to let me, they have, I have my identity as Priya. I have, similarly, the MSMEs also have to have their identities. This identity is given to them by the government through a Udhyam registration certificate. Now, what is Udhyam registration certificate? It is a certificate which is given to all the MSMEs only. Only the MSMEs who are registered under Udhyam, they are eligible to claim the benefits which we'll be discussing in this session. How do we apply for this Udhyam and how do we get this certificate? Earlier, prior to 2000 and I don't exactly recall the year, I think it was somewhere in 2016 or something. We had this Udhyam portal was known as Udhyam Aadhaar Memorandum, UAM. The MSMEs used to register themselves over there and they used to get a certificate which was called Udhyam Aadhaar Memorandum. After that, this certificate, this portal was revamped and it was named as Udhyam portal. There is a all these formalities are done online. We have to apply for the Udhyam portal online. You just have to have your Aadhaar number, which is very compulsory. You have to have Aadhaar number in order to have your Udhyam registration. Once you seed in your Aadhaar number, a OTP will come to you, which you have to feed, and then you have to fill up the form online. Everything is online. You have to fill in the details of the name, your address of the business, then how many employees do you have in your business. There also you have to bifurcate how many males are there, how many females are there, and how many transgenders are there. Then you have to tell whether you are SC, ST, or general class. You have to give the details of your income tax return filed for last 3 financial years. You have to also let them know whether you have a GSTN or not. If yes, then you have to provide the details of the GST. Then after that, yeah, you have to provide them with your investment. How much have you invested in your plant and machinery in the past year? After all these details are given, you have to submit this form. Once again, you receive an OTP and then your form is completed. Once you submit the OTP, your form is submitted and instantly a certificate is generated, which is the certificate is basically, it's from whatever state you are registering, not from whatever state exactly, whichever state you have your principal place of business, the Udyam registration number starts from that code says. Like if for it is for Sikkim, it will start SK. If it is for West Bengal, it will start with WB. And then this number is generated and a certificate is generated wherein they classify you whether you are a micro or a small or a medium enterprise. Once this Udyam registration is done, what you have to do in order to claim this benefits on all your tax invoices, wherever you are using your tax invoices, you have to quote this Udyam Aadhaar number. If you do not quote this Udyam Aadhaar number, no one will come to know you're a MSME. So, to let people know, you have to let them know that you are a MSME, or else there is no point in registering as MSME. So, who are small businesses? Before we go for this, all around us we see small businesses. In India, you'll see a lot many small businesses. All the street vendors, the hawkers, this pan dukans. Rather, there are a lot many CA offices Even I am registered under MSME as a micro enterprise. So all these small businesses, they all fall under MSME. Whether they are registered or not, they are classified as MSME. If they are registered, they can avail the benefits. If they aren't registered, they'll not be able to avail the benefits. In order to avail all these benefits, they have to have registered under this Udyam registration portal. First of all, let us talk about what financial support and what credit support does the small businesses have from the Government of India. One is CGT MSC scheme. What is the CGT MSME scheme? These are loans which are provided by the government, rather government through banks, wherein you can avail, you means MSME, wherein MSME can avail a loan up to rupees 5 crores. Now, if a bank is giving you a loan of rupees 5 crore, definitely they'll ask you for a security. Now, since MSMEs are very small businesses, they have working capital crunch with them, so they are unable to provide any security. Most of them do not have any collateral security to offer. Thus, government brought this scheme wherein the government says all the MSMEs, they are eligible to take a loan from the banks or the financial institutions up to the amount of rupees 5 crore without any collateral security. So why will the banks be interested to give this? Because this collateral security is complemented by the government in the form of guarantee given by them to the banks. Now, what is the amount of guarantee which the government gives for this scheme? Basically, for loans up to rupees 5 crores, the government gives a guarantee of 80, for loan up to rupees 5 lakhs. The government gives a CGTMSE coverage of 85%. And if the entrepreneur is a woman or a SC or a ST, this coverage is extended up to 90%. Up to 90%, the government will bear the loan. So the MSMEs do not have to provide any collateral. If this guarantee is only this guarantee is given by the government, but this has to be only paid if the MSMEs do not pay their loan amount. If they default in any, they default in any of their installments loan repayment, then above rupees 5 lakhs, the guarantee coverage is 75%. Again, for the women entrepreneurs, it is 10% more, that is 85%. And for the SC/ST holders also, it's 85%. And a special incentive is also given to the northeastern region states where it is 85%. This is a very good scheme, where, because most of the small enterprises, medium enterprises, they do not have collateral security. I have seen this since I visit banks. So I know there are a lot many people, who don't have collateral security. They are in a crunch of working capital, but they are unable to take any loan from any of the banks or financial institutions, because all of the banks and all of the financial institutions, they ask for collateral securities for this high amount of loan. Rather, I think collateral free is only up till 10 lakhs as far as I remember. So this is a very, very good initiative, and this has been very, very successful. What I have gathered in my experience, this is very, very successful scheme, because a lot many people have benefited from this CGT MSME scheme. Now, next, another support which the government has extended is Mudra loans. What are Mudra loans? Mudra is a financial institution. It stands for Micro Unit Development Refinancing Agency, which gives the guidance and financial support to the banks so that it can be extended to the MSMEs. So basically, Mudra indirectly helps the MSMEs via banks. Mudra loans are given to MSMEs in 3 categories. Number 1 is Shishu, number 2 is Kishore, and number 3 is Tarun. Now, these are different names provided as per the when we talk about a Sanskrit language. So these are words derived from those languages only. Shishu means a newborn baby. So in this category, only a loan of rupees 50,000 is being extended to the basically this is extended to micro enterprises, or any medium and small enterprise can also avail this, not an issue. But since it is a very small amount, 50,000 rupees only, so it is classified under Shishu. Then after a baby, newborn baby grows up, he is called as Kishore. So under this scheme, this is the loan which is extended to the MSMEs is 5 lakh rupees. Once the baby grows up, he comes to the teenage, he is called Tarun. So under this Tarun category, rupees 10 lakhs loan is extended. Now, what are these Mudra loans? These are loans wherein only rupees 10 lakhs is being provided by the government so that the MSMEs can function without any crunch. These are basically provided for working capital. These are working capital loans in the form of CC and OD. Herein the interest rate is subsidized for MSMEs. What it is definitely less than what is prevalent for other enterprises. These loans can be taken for any of the MSMEs, for any of them. If you want to start a new business, you can take a Shishu, Kishore, Tarun, whatever loan, whatever is your requirement. If you want to expand your business, you can take this loan. There's not an issue. Your business is already going. Neither you want to open a new one, neither you want to expand your old one. But you are in a crunch. You have shortage of money. You can take a Mudra loan. There's no issue in that. Next, coming to this Mudra loan comes under PMMY, Prime Minister Mudra Yojana. Then next is MSME credit card. What is MSME credit card? MSME credit card is a new working capital option. Why is it said so? Because when we go for Mudra loans, a lot of documentation is of course needed in credit card also. But when we go for a loan, a lot of documentation process is required. Like for example, this, that, financial statements, all these things. So the MSMEs, they are not that much equipped and they are not that much, what do I say? They don't have all these, they cannot comply with all the requirements, whatever requirements are required by the bank. So in order to make it more easier, these Mudra loans are also collateral free. In order to make this more easier, the government has introduced a new scheme, introduced quite long time back, wherein a credit card is given to the MSME holders, MSMEs enterprises. What does this credit card do? It has a limit up to rupees 5 lakhs. It's used similarly like other credit cards. You can use this credit card for purchasing, for paying any expense, whatever. So basically it is interest-free loan. What is the difference between Mudra and credit card? In Mudra also you are getting a working capital, and in credit card also you are getting a working capital. Basic difference in, on Mudra loans, whatever amount you are raising, you are paying through your working capital loan, you have to pay interest upon that. Sorry. Whatever amount you have utilized, the interest has to be paid upon that. But in credit card, it is sort of an interest-free loan. Suppose you're using for 1 month. So if you pay your credit card bills prior to that, basically credit card bills is generated after a month and you get 15 to 20 days for paying off this. If you pay it within the 15 to 20 days period, interest will not be levied. So this becomes basically an interest-free loan, provided you are making the payments on time. Whereas in Mudra loan, you have to incur the interest expenditure. So this is a very good option for the MSMEs. And loan extended in MSME credit card option is up to rupees 5 lakhs only, not more than that. There are other credit and financial supports also, like Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. What is PMEGP? Here also, if you want to open a new business, or you already have a business, but you want to expand it, then what do? You can take the loan in PMEGP scheme also. In PMEGP scheme, loan is given up to rupees 50 lakhs, I believe. So here, all these schemes, they have to be applied online. You have to go to the bank, you have to take a loan. You have to first you have to apply it through MSME site. Then you'll get an acknowledgement. This acknowledgement has to be taken to the bank, and only then you'll be available for benefit under PM subsidy benefit. Under PMEGP, you get a subsidy of 25%. 25% for all general classes, and if you are a SC/ST, you get a benefit of subsidy of 30%. Suppose your loan is 5 lakh rupees, then you'll get a benefit of 30% interest subsidy. So similar to these, there are many schemes, which are designed by the central government, and then state government have also come up with a lot many schemes. If we go into all the schemes, definitely 2 hours will be less. Apart from this, apart from credit support, financial support, the government has also extended subsidies and grants to the MSME sectors. What subsidies? First, coming to CLCSS, Credit Linked Subsidy Scheme. Herein, 15% subsidy is being given to the MSMEs for technological upgrades. What do you mean by this technological upgrades? Since the MSMEs, they are having working capital crunch, they also are in dire need for purchasing. Every business has to purchase some plant and machineries. They have to have fixed assets in order to run their business. So most of the businesses, small businesses, they don't have sufficient money. They don't have sufficient money so that they can purchase from their own funds. So now then again, when they approach the bank, then again the same thing hurdle arises. Then a collateral is needed. All those things is needed. So this becomes a burden for them. If they don't have a collateral, it becomes a burden to run a business. So the government came up with this CLCSS. Therein, if you can take a loan from the bank for purchasing your fixed assets, your capital assets, and the government will give you a 15% subsidy for this. Subsidy in the sense, you have to avail a loan from the bank. You have to submit the invoices, the bills, whichever you have purchased the asset. You have to pay the amount, and then after paying the amount, you have to give all the proofs to the government. Once the government is satisfied, only then the subsidy amount will be credited to your account, to your loan account. Means you have to pay only 85% of your loan. 15% will be repaid by the government. Apart from CLCSS, there is another subsidy which is patent subsidy. What is patent subsidy? Government reimburses 50% of your patent charges. What do you mean by patent charges? Suppose you're applying for a patent, trademark. All these things are 50% reimbursement is done by government. You're applying for a trademark, you're applying for patents, you're applying for copyrights, whatever be it. You have to incur all the costs upon your own, whatever is the fees. Somewhere it comes, sometimes it comes 25,000, sometimes it all depends upon nature of business, whatever businesses you are handling. So what happens is you make all the payments, and then after producing proofs to the government, government reimburses you 50%, provided you are a MSME. Similarly, ISO reimbursements are also made. What is ISO? International Standard for their certifications, ISO certifications. And then barcode reimbursements. For ISO and barcode, the government reimburses you 75% of your expenditure. Reimbursement means you have to make the expenditure on your own. Only then the government will provide you with the subsidy. 75% in ISO and barcode. Patent, for patent, trademarks, copyrights, it is 50%. Then coming to payment security. This is the, what do we say? Golden egg of MSME. The MSMEs are protected by this payment security option. There is a rule as per Section 6 of MSMED Act. You have to make for every MSME outstanding creditor, you have to pay within 15 to 45 days. Sorry, what is 15 to 45 days? If a MSME is not registered, means suppose the MSME is not registered under Udyam, then you have the time limit to make the payment within 45 days. If you go beyond 45 days, you have to incur a penalty. And if a MSME is registered and you have made any transaction with a registered MSME, the payment is to be made within 15 days only, provided you have had a separate agreement wherein the time period for payment is more than 15 days, but it cannot be definitely more than 45 days. Whatever your contract agreement says, if your contract agreement says you can make the payment within 50 days, definitely you cannot make that payment within 50 days, because as per the act, you have to make the payment within 45 days only. If you make the payment after 45 days, you have to incur a penalty in the form of interest. This interest rate comes to whatever is your RBI rate on the prevailing date into 3 times. Suppose the RBI rate today is 9%, then you have to pay interest to that MSME at the rate of 27% for the period of delay. So if you suppose you made the payment on 46th day, you have to pay along with interest for 1 day at the rate of 27%. So this MSME protection, this is the, well, like I said, the golden egg. It gives a basic protection to the MSMEs. This rule, now for to claim this rule, you have to be registered under MSME. Suppose you're not registered under MSME and then some another vendor pays you after 50 days. You cannot go to the government and claim ki I want interest for this because you did not have a proof. Whether you can say it, word of mouth does not gives you this protection. You have to have a proof like Udyam registration certificate. You have to provide that to your vendor in order to let him know that you are a MSME so that your vendor can make you timely payments. Then after this payment security, there are MSME FCs. Suppose a vendor does not pay you within the fixed time frame of 15 to 45 days. You can visit these MSME facilitation centers wherein you can lodge your complaint against your debtor कि this XYZ enterprise has not paid me within the due dates. Now, these MSME, you don't need to go to the courts, to the district court, high court. This is a lengthy process. These MSME FCs, there's on the msme.gov.in website only, you will get the link for this. Therein you can just lodge a complaint against the vendor and they will send notices to them and they'll make sure you receive your payment along with the interest. Then another major benefit which is available to MSMEs, small businesses, whenever there is a public tender, like any tender which is floated by the central government or a state government or any PSUs, it is compulsory for them, whatever they are procuring or whatever service they are planning to take, 25% reservation has to be met for the MSMEs only. Suppose they have to purchase 100 chairs, then 25 chairs has to be purchased by MSME vendors only. This is a very, very major benefit for the MSMEs because they get a good amount of business. This initiative was taken by the government in order to support the MSMEs. Why? Because no one is willing to purchase from MSMEs since they are small, no one recognizes them, no one knows they exist or not. So in order to make the existence come into forefront, the government made this reservation in public tenders. So 25% all this criteria has to be fulfilled by other central government, state government and PSUs. It is a necessity for them to purchase 25% from the MSME vendors only. So in order to get basically all the government sites, the PSUs, they all procure through GEM portal. You know what is GEM? Government e-marketplace. GEM is, you can see it somewhere here like this. You can register yourself on the GEM portal as a buyer, as a seller. When you sign up here, there are two options available. One is buyer organization, one is seller service provider. Now, if you want to buy, you can or register yourself as a buyer. If you want to sell, you can register yourself as a seller. You have to fill in all the details here. So all the bids, bids government, whatever tenders government floats, all these are uploaded through GEM portal only. Then when you register on this GEM portal, the government asks for a security deposit. You have to pay a security deposit of rupees 10,000 or rupees 25,000 depending upon the size of your business. Now, this is again a hurdle for the MSMEs. When they try to register themselves on GEM, they are not willing to pay, they're not willing to deposit this fees because if working capital gets blocked. Now, some of all must be thinking, what harm does it make in 10,000 or 25,000? But for small businesses, go and ask a pan dukan. For them, a 10,000 rupee, an amount of rupees 10,000 is much more than what it is for us. So, in order to overcome this hurdle, the government, what did they do? They made it free. They exempted it for the MSMEs. If any MSME registered themselves on the GEM portal, then or any of the government tender sites, they are exempted from paying any security fee or any security deposit. They do not have to pay any security deposit for registration on GEM portal or any other portal. Then the government also gives them market development assistance. Various schemes are there wherein they can develop their products, like they can showcase their products on GEMs. They don't need to give any convenience fee. They don't need to give any security deposit fee. So a lot many assistance schemes like this are provided to the MSMEs. When we come towards technology, there are digital MSME schemes, cloud, ERP adoption. What happens is, in digital MSME scheme, this is not very much prevalent. But what the government does is, like suppose the MSMEs, they want to go for industrial, international trade fairs and all these things, wherein they don't have so much of money. So we all know MSMEs are small businesses. So they won't be having so much of money wherein they can spend so much on air tickets to go for international trade fairs and then bear so much expenses over there. So the government also, one of the scheme for this is, what did the government do? They said if any MSME is participating in an international trade fair, whatever will be the air ticket, the cost of the air ticket, 85% of the cost of the air ticket will be borne by the government, provided the MSME claims it from the government. So these are schemes which the government has given to the MSMEs. Similar to this, the industrial parks also have been developed wherein they can showcase their products. Coming to legal benefits available. One is Udyam registration, which I said you, if the company has a Udyam registration. Another one is coming to tax burdens. The small businesses, the small businesses are given a lot of benefits under Income Tax Act and GST. So let us first cover about the income tax benefits which are available to MSMEs. Number one benefit which the income tax has given to the MSMEs is presumptive income under Section 44AD and Section 44ADA. Section 44AD is for businesses, and Section 44ADA is for services, that is for professionals. What does Section 44AD says? Section 44AD says if you are a small business, means if your turnover is less than 5 crores, then you don't have to maintain any books of accounts. Now 5 crores for whom? Provided 95% of your transactions are done through banking channels. It's cashless. If your transactions are not, if your 95% of your transactions are not done through banking channels or they are done through cash mode, then this turnover, this limit of 5 crores turnover comes down to rupees 1 crores. So it's better we do our transactions through banking channels and avail the benefit of rupees 5 crores in order to avoid the burden of maintaining books of accounts. See, this is a very good initiative, although it's a very old section of Income Tax Act, because maintenance of books of accounts requires, nowadays the law is so complicated. So you definitely require a person who will maintain books of accounts for you. Now, if you are hiring a person to maintain your books of accounts, an accountant or so, definitely he'll charging you every month. Supposedly, he is charging us 5,000 per month. This is definitely a very low amount, but still, supposedly, any accountant is charging you 5,000 1 month. So it comes to 60,000 a year. Now, not every small business will be willing to give this amount of money. So, in order to avoid this, in order to help out these small businesses, the government said you are exempted from maintaining the books of accounts provided your turnover is less than 5 crores. But you have to carry out all your transactions through banking channels. Now, if the MSME cannot carry out the transactions through banking channels, then the government says, okay, we'll reduce the limit to 1 crores. On the similar guidelines, Section 44 ADA was introduced, wherein the government says ki, all the professionals, they are also exempted from maintaining books of accounts provided their annual turnover is less than 50 lakhs rupees. For the professionals, the turnover limit is 50 lakhs rupees. If your turnover exceeds 50 lakh rupees, if the gross receipts from your profession increase rupees 50 exceeds rupees 50 lakhs rupees, then you are liable to maintain the books of accounts. Section 44AB, wherein audit is compulsory. If you are maintaining accounts under presumptive scheme, means you're not maintaining books of accounts, then definitely you don't have to go for audit, because audit is for persons who are maintaining books of accounts. The persons who are not maintaining any books of accounts, they won't have any audit liabilities. Then there's another such section in income tax, which is known as 44AE. This is for the truck owners, for the transport owners who have trucks. Any transport owner who have less than 10 trucks, they also do not need to maintain any books of accounts. If they are having more than 10 trucks, then they definitely have to maintain all the books of accounts. Because a person having 10 trucks will definitely come under MSME business enterprise only. Apart from this, the government says if you are a company, a private limited company, and your turnover does not exceed 250 crores or 400 crores, then you are liable to pay tax at the rate of 25%. Normally, the tax rate for the companies is 30%, but if you are a private limited company, then you can pay the tax at the rate of 25%, provided your turnover should not exceed 400 crores rupees. These are the income tax exemptions. Apart from this, also there are other small exemptions, like for cooperative societies, for manufacturing companies, Section 80P. Manufacturing companies, they have benefits under if their turnover is less than 400 crores, the tax rebate is given to the tax rate has been reduced for them. Coming to GST, under GST also we have benefits which are given to the MSMEs. What the GST Act says, it has provided a benefit in the form of composition scheme. What is a composition scheme? It says if you are a enterprise wherein your turnover is less than 1.5 CR, then you don't have to maintain books of accounts. You don't have to pay GST at different rates as per your products. You don't have to have the burden of calculating your input tax credit and then setting it off with your output tax liability and then paying whatever taxes is. You don't have to maintain any purchase books. You don't have to maintain any sale books. Simple as that. Whatever you are selling, just pay 1% CGST, 1% SGST, or basically it is CGST, SGST upon your sales. And if you are a service provider, you have to pay at the rate of 6%. So this is for northeastern states, for NER states, this limit has been reduced to 75 lakhs. If you are residing in any of the northeastern region states and your turnover does not exceed 75 lakhs, only then you are eligible to avail this composition scheme. The day your turnover exceeds 75 lakhs, you have to file for a regular GST. Apart from this, there are benefits which are available for insurance. The government also gives you benefit wherein the government reimburses you for reinsurance for your assets and for your workforce. The government also gives you discounts upon electricity, 20% to 30%. Whatever electricity you are paying, whatever bills you are paying upon your electricity, you get a rebate of 20% to 30%. There are exemptions for stamp duty, for octroi. Now, what is stamp duty? When you are taking a land in your name, when you are registering for other, like basically stamp duty is paid by paid upon the registration of land and upon registration of companies and all these things. So when you are applying for registration of a company or when you are applying for registration of a land, all these exemptions, this stamp duty has to be paid depending upon the amount. If you are registering for a company, it depends upon the amount of your share capital. What is your share capital? So if it is 10 lakhs, then it's a basic stamp duty of rupees 200 or something like this. If it is more than 10 lakhs and the stamp duty comes to more than 200, it comes to 500 rupees. If it is 1 crore, it comes to 1000 rupees. This I'm talking about I'm talking about some other state. There may be this stamp duty may be different for other states also. So the government gives you exemptions. If you are registered under MSME, octroi is no longer relevant. If you are paying if you are registering as a MSME, if you inform the government you are a MSME, you don't have to pay stamp duty upon these registrations. If you are a innovation, if you are coming up with a plan which is innovative, you are coming up with a business plan which is innovative, government gives you a grant, seed grant. It is known as seed grant up to rupees 1 crore for your business. But you have to have come up with a new innovative idea, wherein rupees 1 crore is given to you as a subsidized grant. So this grant is of a great help for the MSMEs, because what happens, when you come up with an innovative plan, a lot of capital is required for those innovative plans. You require you have to spend so much on your research and development. Then you have to purchase those machineries. You have to pay to your helping staff, your laborers, your employees. And since you are very innovative, you don't know, it's kind of a startup, you don't know whether it will be successful or not. So the government says, you if you come with a very innovative plan, I can reimburse you. I can not reimburse also. I can give you a grant of rupees 1 crore for any new project which you are upcoming. The government also helps in skill building via different trainings like NSIS, National Small Industries uh, Corporation, NIES BUD, NIMSME. So all these Khadi, Coir Board, all these institutions, they provide you training, which is for different periods, some for 1 month, some for 7 days, some for 15 days. They give you training and then they give you a certificate. With the help of this certificate, you can either set up your own, or you can go for employment opportunities also. This certificate helps you a lot in setting up your new enterprise. And in also, if you don't want to set up your new enterprise, you want to go for a employment opportunity, it helps you there also. This training, what happens in this training is, you have to register for this training. The government, they gives you this they gives you training through their trained teachers and all. And then uh, once they you have to pass the exams also, and once you qualify your exams, a certificate is given to you. So what happens, this you don't have to bear any training fees here. This is free of cost for the MSME entrepreneurs. Government also, various states also support you through export procedures. If you want to go for export business, they mentor you, they guide you, they help you out in all the export procedures. They give you subsidies for the export, for dealing in imports and exports. Various schemes are there. So what I can conclude from this, all whatever we have done, is in order to claim the benefits for the small businesses, we have to register with Udyam. If we do not register with Udyam, none of the benefits will be available to us. All the MSMEs, they are they are supposed to know these schemes. And how do we come to know this scheme? You have to visit msme.gov.in. All the schemes are mentioned here. This booklet is available in msme.gov.in site. Herein all the schemes which are given by central government, you can see all the schemes here. Coming to Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, which we said, in Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, what happens is a credit linked subsidy program is given, for non-farm sector. Margin money ranges from 15% to 35% for where the cost of project is up to rupees 50 lakhs in manufacturing sector. And if you are a service sector, you can avail a loan up to rupees 20 lakhs. For SC, ST, women, minorities, the margin money subsidy is 35% in rural areas and 25% in urban areas. Any person, individual above 18 years of age can apply for this scheme. The own contribution has to be 10%. The MSME entrepreneur has to bear 10% of the cost for general category and for special category. Special category means SC, ST, OBC, women, ex-army men. So 5% of the project cost has to be borne by the special category entrepreneurs. Banks, if your loan is approved, bank will sanction you the amount of 90 to bank will sanction you and release the amount of 90 to 95%, and the rest amount will be borne by the government. Another scheme which government is saying is PMEGP, REGP, Mudra units, which I said you is Kishore, Tarun and Shishu loan. Another is CGTMSC, which we saw in the first slide, where up to loans up to rupees 5 crores are given for without collateral security. See, if you are a micro enterprise, up to rupees 5 lakh, 85% is extended by the government. Means 85% extended by the government means government will pay 85% of your loan provided you defaulted in the repayment of your loan. And if the loan is above rupees 5 lakh, up to rupees 5 lakh, 75% will be borne by the government. And if it is above rupees 50 lakh and up to rupees 5 crore, then also the government will bear 75%. I said for northeastern region states, this percentage comes up to 80%. And if it is above 50 lakh, it comes to 75%. For women entrepreneurs, it is flat 90% in whatever state she resides. The maximum guarantee coverage which the government will give is 90%. 10% has to be borne by the government. For SC, ST, it is 85%. And for the other categories, it is 75%. Basically, it is 75%. We see in general, CGT MSME coverage is 75%. Another scheme is MSc CDP scheme. What is this cluster development program? What does this sees? To issues improvement of technology, market access. So these to create, upgrade infrastructure facilities, set up common facility centers. What does common facility centers means? Testing, training. You're giving you training. You don't have giving you warehouses on rent. Rent means very subsidized rent. Now, this scheme is only applicable for existing entrepreneurs. New entrepreneurs cannot go for this scheme, cluster development scheme. See, what happens in common facility centers? Tangible assets are created. What do you mean by tangible assets? Common production, processing center, design centers, in testing facilities. Like they are, if they are manufacturing companies, suppose it is a food processing manufacturing company, certain tests has to be done before they release that food into the market. So they don't have much space, they don't have much capital to set up their own testing facility. So what does government do? It ties up with other test facilities, and or rather government also has their own government sponsored test facilities What does they do? They say the MSME कि you come to us for testing. 80% of the cost will be borne by us. You just have to pay us 20%. So this comes under cluster development program. Similarly, for infrastructure development also, 70% is borne by the government. If you want to develop your land, if you want to purchase a land, you can go for cluster development scheme. Next is Furti, scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries. What are traditional industries? In villages like small artisans, potters, weavers, the ones who are still using traditional methods for living their lives. What does government do? What does government do? Government supports these artisans, these small scale industries. It gives a support up to rupees 2.5 crores. If in any industry, suppose there are 500 artisans or 500 small entrepreneurs, then a amount of rupees 2.5 cr is given by the government, and more than 5 cr is given for more than 500 artisans. What you have to do, you have to combine all the artisans, and then the government will give you support. With the help of this support, a production facility is set wherein you'll procure all the latest machineries. Suppose if you in a village, they are basically the village's main living is weaving. So what you all can do, all the weavers can combine. They can go to the government and take help of this Furti scheme. They can ask the government to give them the support, give them the loan, and the government will pass. If suppose they are less than 500 artisans, the government will give you 2.5 cr. With the help of 2.5 cr, what you'll do, the all those weavers, they'll purchase the latest machinery. Then they can purchase their raw materials. They can use this money for their trainings also. They can use this money for their working capital also, and they can start generating their revenue. Another scheme is ESDP, this capacity building scheme, motivate aspiring and existing entrepreneurs. One day training program is conducted under this EAP, Entrepreneurship Awareness Program. It is for the entrepreneurs' self-employment awareness and motivation to different sections of the building, including SC, ST, women, differently abled, ex-servicemen, and BPL persons as career options. Another another pro, another program under this is ESTP, Entrepreneurship Come Skill Development Program. Herein what happens, 6 weeks training program is conducted for entrepreneurship and skill training in agro-based products, hosiery, food and fruit processing industries, carpet weaving, etc. A training is given you for these for upskilling your already inbuilt skills, and then a certificate is awarded to you based upon your training. A 1 week advanced ESDP programs are conducted through NIT, Agriculture University, state government, all those three. Another scheme is ATI scheme. Herein what happens? The choir board, tool rooms, they all provide you capital grant for the purpose of creation and strengthening of infrastructure and support for entrepreneurship development and skill development training programs. This basically focuses on skill development and capital goods. Working capital is not covered by here, covered under this scheme. It is restricted to 3 crores in each case. Maximum assistance which the state level EDIs will be giving is 3 crores. Koir Vikas Yojana, what happens under this is, the choir board implements these programs. Science and technology, where technological upgradation is done. Modernization, you can modernize your industries, your machineries. Skill upgradation, government gives you training, exposures, awareness program, workshops, Mahila Coir Yojana, Women Oriented Yojana, self-employment scheme wherein they boost the confidence of the employees by providing them confidence of the women by providing them training with stipend facilities, and a small stipend is also given in order to encourage them to join the training. Export market promotion, if anyone is willing to export, not willing also, if their products are worth exporting, the government helps them to export their products so that they generate good amount of revenue. Domestic market promotion is also being done by the government. PMS scheme, what happens under PMS scheme? So like I said, no, if there are international trade fairs or national trade fairs and the MSMEs are willing to join them, the government gives them help in through this scheme. It reimburses 85% of the cost. International cooperation scheme, what happens? There are three components. Number one is market development assistance of MSMEs, MDA. It's a capacity building of first-time exporters, framework for international market intelligence dissemination. Market development assistance means they help the MSMEs to develop their market by marketing their products, by giving them subsidized uh, marketing products in the sense like if they're applying for a trademark, if they're applying for a patent, ISO, bar, they reimburse, they cut down the costs. Capacity building means that giving all those subsidies in the form of fixed assets, 85%, 65%. See, participation of MSME delegation, what are the limits? Ministry of MSME and organizations under the ministry. Participation of MSME delegations in international exhibition, trade fairs, buyer-seller meets, space rent. Stall charges will be borne by the government up to 3 lakh per MSME. Airfare will be borne up to rupees 1.50 lakh. If it is less than one, if your fare is already less than 1.50 lakh, the government will bear the full amount. Duty allowance will also be given, $150 per day whosoever goes to represent your MSME. Freight charges will be borne by the government up to rupees 50,000 per MSME unit. And for Latin American countries, it is 75,000. Advertisement and publicity charges will be borne by the government up to rupees 5 lakhs. And registration fees will be borne up to rupees 5,000. Now, if it is in international exhibitions, trade fairs and buyer-seller meet by foreign organizers, this was for Indian organizers. If in foreign countries, but Indians are physical mode. This is virtual mode. Suppose you are doing it through virtual mode. Then space stall charges is 1.5 lakh, advertisement and publicity charges is 5 lakh. Why these are not borne? Because airfare, since it is virtual mode, there is no airfare. Since you are not going, there will be no duty allowance. Since you are not going, there will be no freight charges. Since you are not going, there will be no, there can be registration fee, but maybe it is not, maybe it is exempted also since you are not traveling. And if it is organized in India, if the conferences, summits are organized in India and an MSME is willing to participate in it, charges for holding, workshop, for organizing, including advertisement, stage, print, everything, 10 lakhs will be borne by the government for per MSME. And economy class airfare will be borne for rupees 5 lakh. For foreign speakers, not for the MSME who is traveling, for the speakers, 5 lakh rupees. If international conferences are organized on virtual mode, this was physical mode, then for virtual space, for workshops, seminars, rupees 2 lakh will be borne by the government. And for publicity cost, government will bear 5 lakh rupees. For translation and interpretation charges, 1 lakh rupees will be borne by the government. Why translation and interpretation charges? Because since it's an international conference, maybe most of them, and since it is a virtual mode, people from any part of world can join this. Supposedly they are not, they are unable to understand any of the language, English or Hindi or whatever language. Then there has to be a translator and interpreter who also will definitely charge for their services. So the government says the government will bear up to rupees 1 lakh for that. Under subcomponent 2, the government will bear the incidental costs like registration cum membership certification, export insurance premium, quality certification reimbursed, to MSME exporters for the first time, then this reimbursement is given by the government. National SC/ST Hub Scheme, as the name suggests, this scheme is for SC/ST entrepreneurs to for their Stand Up India initiatives. What is the scheme? 25% subsidy is given on purchase of plant and machinery, or rupees 25 lakh, whichever is less. So if your loan is 1 crore and 25% subsidy, it comes to 25 lakhs. Suppose if your loan is 1.20 crores, your subsidy comes to more than 20, it will come with somewhere around 30 lakhs, then the government will only give you a subsidy of 25 lakhs as a capping of rupees 25 lakhs. Reimbursement of fees which is charged for bank loan processing, the government will reimburse the fees, processing charges, membership of Export Promotion Council, single point registration scheme of NSI, whatever membership fees and processing charges for bank loans are required, all will be reimbursed by the government. And under this scheme, the government collects, collates, and disseminates information and entrepreneurs to CPSE, Central Public Sector Undertakings. All this information is provided to CPSEs who will use this information for their public procurement. Free skill trainings are given to the members of under this scheme. See this under this scheme also various subsidies are given, like 25% on purchase of plant and machinery, 100% subsidy on airfare, and twice of DA under special marketing assistance scheme, 100% subsidy for NSI registration, National Small Industries Corporations registration, reimbursement of 80% on bank loan processing fee up to capping of 1 lakh, reimbursement of 80% on performance bank guarantees capping of 1 lakh, reimbursement of 80% on testing fee up to 1 lakh, reimbursement of 80% on fee of export promotion council membership. If you are willing to export your products, then you have to get yourself registered with this export promotion council. So there's a membership fees. So whatever is your membership fees, 80% will be reimbursed by the government with a capping of 25,000. If you are registering yourself and being as a member on government promoted e-commerce portals, 80% or 25,000. Then if your short-term training program fee for NIRF rated management institution, 90% of the fees will be borne by the government or rupees 1 lakh, whichever is less. Another scheme is Aspire. What happens in Aspire? It is for livelihood business incubators. 1 crore of subsidy is given by the government and to government agencies were MSME, and 75 lakhs to private agencies. This scheme is Aspire scheme is for promotion of procuring plant and machinery. And within this 1 crore, you can use this for 1 crore is also given for operational expenditure. Not 1 plus 1, 2 is not given. Either you can take it for procuring your plant and machinery, or you can take it for operational expenditure. Any government of institution, any private institution, any not for private institution, all these are eligible to take the loan under this category. Khadi Garam Udyog Gramodyog Vikas Yojana. Under Khadi, there are different benefits available. One is MMDA. What happened? Modified Market Development Assistant. What happens in this? 35% subsidy is given on prime cost for cotton and muslin, wool and polyvastra, and 20% on prime cost for silk khadi. Means if you are availing a loan for these products, 35% subsidy will be given by the government, and if you are availing loan for this silk khadi, 20% will be given by the government. ISEC Interest Subsidy Eligibility Certificate Scheme. Khadi institution has to pay only 4% interest rate. Only government is, the MSMEs, they'll be only paying 4% interest rate. At the whatever will be the difference. Suppose the actual rate is 10%, 6% will be borne by the KYC as interest subsidy. What is KYC? Kisan Vikas Industrial Corporation. Not Kisan, yes, Kisan Vikas Industrial Corporation. Khadi. Sorry, it is Khadi. Work shed scheme for Khadi artisans. Work shed, what is work shed? A space where they can work 1,20,000 or 75% of the cost of work shed, including toilet. This will be given by the government if you are registered under Khadi artisan. You have to register yourself in the Khadi portal. Only then you will be eligible for this benefit. And if you are registering as yourself as a group, then 80,000 or 75% of the cost. Strengthening infrastructure of existing weak Khadi institutions and assistance for marketing infrastructure, which are already existing, but they are unable to survive. Then what does this KVIC does? It gives a financial assistance for revival up to rupees 15 lakh. This 15 lakhs covers your capital expenditure and your working fund both, and financial institution for marketing infrastructure also, for renovation of departmental sales outlets of KVIC, KVIB with a ceiling limit of rupees 25 lakhs. This Khadi board is doing a lot in Sikkim, I have seen here. Other components, Center of Excellence for Khadi. They have opened these. Khadi Quality Assurance, Marketing Exhibition, Science and Technology. Recently, they have built 2 to 3 outlets of Khadi, where they showcase their products of Khadi. They very beautifully build it up. So it's a live example which I can see here. Gramodyog Vikas Yojana. The name suggests the people who works in the villages. It's for their upliftment. Agarbatti program under wellness and cosmetic industries. For Agarbatti, they give you the training, then they distribute the pedals operated by automatic agarbatti as trained as machines which are required for preparing this agarbatti. The KVIC board distributes these machines which are pedal operated. Pedal operated means sewing machines. We used to operate it through hands. So pedal operated means the ones which are operated through our legs. Another is leather footwear activity under handmade paper leather and plastic industry. You are given training on designing and manufacturing of footwear. Then machinery and toolkits are distributed to the eligible MSME vendors. Similarly, for pottery activity, training is given on wheel pottery and tools and equipments are given to the artisans. Trained artisans means the ones who have cleared their training. Beekeeping activity, honey mission, beekeeping skill development training is given to them. Then 10 bee boxes are distributed wherein there are live bee colonies. Chatta, Madhumati ka chatta, that is provided to them so that they can rear these bees and convert and procure honey from them. Then waste wood, turn woodcraft, wooden toy. So waste wood, the wood which is left out, they convert it into beautiful toys. So toolkits are given to them for conversion. Handmade paper and fiber related activities under handmade paper, plastic and leather industry. You are given training on paper conversion, how to make paper plates, dona, bowls, paper machines, fancy article making, band making, and the necessary distribution, the necessary machinery and toolkits are provided. For agro-based industries, training on giving on palm wood, tamarind, imli, fruits and vegetables, village oil, spices, and condiment. What does comes in a village oil? All those oils, sunflower, palm oil, spices and condiments, cane and bamboo. So you are given training on these, how to run these kinds of businesses, how to take out these, like how do you get good from sugar cane, how can you extract good from that. So all the training is provided to you. Once you have successfully completed the training and cleared, you'll be distributed machinery and toolkits so that you can open up your own business provided you are willing to do so. In service industry, training is given to electrician and plumbers and dignity tea vending on bicycle. The necessary tools are given to them. So anyone who is of 18 to 55 years can apply for this scheme. You have to have your valid Aadhaar card from one family. When from one family only one person is eligible. Not everyone. Suppose a mother has 2 sons, both of them cannot apply for this same scheme. Now this is for NER, Northeastern states. Here financial support is given. Common facilities are created, similarly like testing, supplementing, R&D, packaging, the warehousing, all these are provided. Infrastructure facilities are created. Tourism sector is basically developed here in northeastern states because it has natural beauty. What do? They create common services, kitchen, bakery, laundry, dry cleaning, refrigeration, cold storage, portable water, display center for local products, cultural activities. Now, how do they help them? They set up new modernization mini technology centers. Financial assistance is 90%. If you are setting up any technology center or you are already have a technology center, you are modernizing it. 90% of the cost will be borne by the government. The maximum cost, the maximum cost for government assistance will be 15 crores. Means if your project is 15 crores, the government will bear 90%. So your project cannot be more than 50 crores. If your project is more than 15 crores, it will not fall under this scheme. So a building cost, what is building cost here? The hotels, building of the hotels, it will be limited to 1 crore. Financial assistance for project maximum cost rupees 5 crores. For tourism sector, it is the project cost should be rupees 5 crores. If it is more than 5 crores, this will not fall under this scheme. This is a newly launched scheme, PM Vishwakarma. Here, what does the government do? It enables the artisan and craftsperson to scale up their enterprise. How? What does it do? It gives training, provides skill upgradation to hone their skills, and make the relevant and suitable training opportunities available to them. It provides support for better and modern tools to enhance their capability, productivity, and quality. What does it do? In the under this scheme, what happens is, no, the government, it provides you training. Basically all the schemes are of same, more or less they are same. They, because the ultimate objective of the government is to upgrade the MSMEs. So basically all the schemes, they work on the same lines. They provide you with the training programs, then they provide you with the capital expenditure. Either they distribute you the machinery or they give you money to purchase those machineries. And then under some of the schemes, they install the machineries, they set up your plant, and then they give it to you. In some of the cases, they give you the money to do this is on your own. Once your industry is set up, you can take a working capital loan to run your business. Basically, all of the schemes, they come under the same lines. You see, they'll give you the training, they'll give you the capital expenditure, they'll give you working capital also, they'll assist you in marketing, they'll provide you a platform for promotion. So see, here your 5 to 7 days training is given. A stipend is given in almost all the trainings. This is in order to incur your transport cost, in order to motivate you. Similar to CA, wherein we are also provided a stipend. See, incentive for digital transaction is given here. An amount of rupees 1 per eligible digital transaction is given. Up to maximum 100 eligible transactions will be provided to the beneficiary. What happens is, if you are doing a digital transaction, suppose you have done 100 digital transactions in a month, an amount of rupees 1 is given to you. If you do more than, this is not 100, I think it is 25. If you do 25 transactions digital transactions in a month, 1 rupees is given to you, another 25, then it gets on added. So this becomes an incentive and it promotes cashless economy. See who all are covered under this scheme: carpenter, boat maker, armorer, metalsmith, hammer and toolkit maker, locksmith, goldsmith, potter, sculptor, stonebreaker, cobbler, shoesmith, footwear artisan, mason, basket, mat, broom maker, coir weaver, doll and toy maker, barber, garland maker, washerman, tailor, fishing net maker. Stool rooms and technical institutions have been set up by the government, wherein you can go and purchase the tool rooms, and the technical institutions, you can take the training on whatever field you want to. This is champion scheme. What does this champion scheme says? This has been implemented, this CLCS-TUS, Technology Upgradation Scheme. Wastage reduction. This scheme, it says wastage reduction. How do you reduce your wastage? Under this, there is a very important scheme, this is which is called zero defect, zero effect. What is this scheme? Zero effect, zero defect. ZED. What happens is, it says, under ZED, what does it says? Zero effect, zero defect means all, means basically a small village or whatever, a small cluster, a group of people, they are all manufacturing same kind of products. They are all given training under, basically what, like suppose if I tell in Sikkim, there is a village called Turuk, suppose. Then what happens in Turuk? All the people of Turuk, they will identify a product. They will all develop that product only. Suppose they are developing cardamom. So all the villages, all the farmers in the villages, they'll be given training on uh, how to develop a very good quality cardamom. When what under this scheme, what happens? What is the basic uh, utility of this scheme is, when all the people, when they grow a particular crop or when they develop a particular product, and they are given training only for that product, and they are distributed seeds, or they are given tools for that particular product, the quality of the product which comes as a result, as an outcome, it is very high quality. This is of exportable quality. What happens is, this gives you export benefits. There are certain states who has followed this. Almost all of the states have followed this scheme, zero effect, zero defect. In Sikkim, cardamom is Dalle Kursani is coming under this scheme. See, cost of certification is also given here: bronze, silver, gold. Joining reward is given. Subsidy, there's a certification cost. If you go for this bronze certificate, 8,000 is to be given, silver 32,000, gold 72,000. And what does government give? Subsidy to 80, 60, 50. 80 bronze, 60 gold, silver, 50 is for gold. And for women-owned MSMEs, it is 100%. For NER states, 10% extra. And for MSMEs who are 5%, they are part of Spurti also, or other cluster development program also. They are given an additional subsidy of 5%. In testing quality product certificate, you can call another organic. Sikkim is an organic state. So if it is going for organic, so you have to get your products tested in order to qualify them as a organic product. So 75% of the cost will be borne by the government under this scheme. 2 lakhs is given for consultancy, 3 lakhs is given for technology upgradation. Incubation, IPR and design, it relates to intellectual property rights. Designing, if you want to design your products, market your products, commercialize your intellectual creations. So the government gives you financial assistance of rupees 15 lakh per idea. And for assistance for plant and machinery, to set up the plant and machinery, rupees 1 crore. This plant and machinery has to be for R&D activities or for incubating. Incubating means developing something new. For designing of the projects, 75% for micro, 60% for small and medium of the total project cost will be borne by the government up to a maximum of rupees 40 lakhs, not more than that. If it is a project of a student, 75% will be contributed by the government, maximum of rupees 2.5 lakhs. For IPR, 1 crore grant is given under 3 or more installments. See, if it is a foreign patent, 5 lakhs will be given. Domestic patent, 1 lakhs. GI registration, GI is geographical indicator. Like the for different states, they have their own values. No, like silk is South is famous for silk. Sikkim is famous for dalle. Like those things. Lucknow is famous for chicken curry. So they are called GI tags. So GI registration, it is for 2 lakh rupees. Design registration, 15,000. Trademark, 10,000. This is the maximum assistance government gives for this scheme. MSME competitive lean scheme. What happens in this? The rejection rates are low. What do you mean by rejection rates? You go to the bank for a loan and then you don't get a loan. So under this scheme, rejection rate is reduced. Product and raw material movement, product cost, all these are reduced. How they are reduced? They provide you training, so that you don't have to face these hurdles. Space is utilized at the optimum. Water, energy, you are taught, you are trained for this. How to utilize maximum space, how to utilize water, energy, whatever resources are available you, to optimizing the use, enhancement of quality, workplace safety, innovative work culture, profitability. See, implementation cost in basic level is free. Intermediate level, 1,20,000. Advanced level, 2,40,000. This is the fee structure for this training. And how much does the beneficiary has to contribute? For basic, when it is free, you don't have to contribute. For intermediate level, only 10% the MSME has to bear. Rest will be borne by the government. For advanced level, also 10% has to be borne. GOI will bear the rest. This is SRI fund. What happens in this? Self-reliant. The government aims to provide capital support to the daughter funds for onward provision to MSMEs as growth capital through equity, quasi-equity, and debt to achieve the following: MSME business, economy, potential to graduate, India self-reliant, producing relevant. This is basically, if any MSME wants to make their own products and services, the government provides them. If it is providing them equity, quasi-equity means the capital contribution. So fund life is 15 years. Total corpus is contribution 10,000 crore through MSME. Disbursement to MSMEs. This is not for per MSME. This is the total amount of cost which the government has set aside for this scheme. So whosoever wants to develop, manufacture their own, they can come through this scheme and claim the any subsidy or claim the amount from the government. Non-profit institutions, they are not included under this scheme. RAMP, Raising and Accelerating MSME Performance. It is a World Bank support central sector scheme aimed at improving access of MSMEs to market, top technology upgradation, whatever existing schemes are there. The World Bank has supported the central sector by improving access. How? Through technology upgradation, innovation, digitization, and market access, credit greening initiatives. The state governments, the World Bank passes on the guidelines to central government passes into the state governments, and the state governments passes on to the MSMEs. So what did so similar things? They upgrade the technology, they provide incentives, they provide you incentives for innovation, for digitization, like the digitization for 25 transactions, 1 rupees. That differs upon state to state. For market access means marketing your products, for giving you credit, all those schemes, bank loan schemes, greening initiatives, using the resources sustainably. So the state governments are implementing all these schemes with the help of central government, with the help of World Bank. So these are basically, I have not read out the schemes, and what happens in this scheme is, no, once I'll let you know, you'll all forget about the schemes. So I have just gave you a brief, very, very brief. I'll share this scheme book. Rather, you all can download also, but I'll still share it with the coordinator. He'll pass it on if anyone is interested. You can ask from them, or you can download it from msme.gov.in also. These are the schemes. Tax benefits are available under Income Tax Act, under GST, which I had let you know. The major benefit which is available is exemption from books of accounts. Maintaining books of accounts is a huge relief to the MSME sector. In GST also, if your turnover is less than 1.5 CR, you don't have to maintain books of accounts. You don't have to take the headache of calculating your input tax. It's a very, very tedious task. You're exempted from that. The companies are given a concessional rate of 5% if their turnover is less than 400 crores. You can pay tax at 25% instead of 30%. Major tax benefits are these. Various loan schemes are given where interest rates are subsidized. Mudra loans are given, collaterals are given. So these are the basic benefits. Definitely there must be more benefits, but whatever I could gather, I could remember, I all tried to share today. This is all. So if there are any questions, I can take them up. Mr.
Yes, Priya
Rana.
ma'am, there are a couple of questions floating around. So the first question I would ask is, credit card limit is fixed to all or profile based?
No, it's fixed for all. It's up to a 5 lakhs. Means if anyone wants to take less than that, they can definitely go for that, but not more than 5 lakhs.
And do we have any restriction under MSME Act as to category or nature of business or industry which can make application for registration?
No, all the manufacturing companies, the trading sectors, service sectors, all are allowed. The restriction is based upon the investment in plant and machinery and their turnover. It's not based upon nature of industry.
And many MSMEs are hesitant to file a complaint for delayed payment as they fear obviously losing businesses from bigger players. So, at a practical level, is there any protection under MSME Act? Because it is hardly enforceable by MSME.
No, the protection is the Section 6, which they have given delayed protection, delayed payment protection. This the what was your question? Ki the MSMEs are hesitant to file. So there's a portal there, MSME Samadhan. You can file the complaint over there. You don't have to go for paperwork and anything. You just have to file your complaint online. You just have to provide your details therein, and the MSME Samadhan will take up the issue. Definitely, it is not as efficient as it's written in the books or as it should be, but still, you can file a complaint over there.
Right. And is there any specific, or I would say any particular credit or loan scheme for service industry, like any startup or any MSME which is engaged in job portal for let's say blue collar or gray collar workforce?
As far as I remember, I don't remember any such scheme specific for employment opportunities.
And ma'am, somebody asked how to claim electricity rebates and for how long that is in period he or she wants to ask. This is allowed, the electricity rebates.
Okay, electricity rebates have to be claimed through electricity department only. Therein, you have to submit your MSME certification that you are a MSME, and then you can claim your. For longer, I don't think so. If I am not so much sure about how longer can you claim this, but definitely you have to give your Udyam Aadhaar certificate there.
Right. And in many states, the MSME tribunals are hardly established, and even if they are established, they rarely meet any. They rarely meet as most of the members are of such tribunals are drawn from government personnel who do not find enough time to sit on the branch. So, how to go about it?
Now, this is a concern not only for MSME, I'll say. I don't have any answer to this.
And what benefits do women entrepreneurs or SC/ST entrepreneurs get when they are starting a small business?
They are being given an extra subsidy on all. They are given an extra subsidy of 5% in almost all the schemes. The women entrepreneurs and the SC/ST holders, they have a reservation. Like what I said, 25% is reserved in the GEM portals and all the tender portals. If the entrepreneur is a woman or a SC or ST, then extra 3% is for women and 2% is for SC/ST. Everywhere they have an extra reservation, extra subsidy. So women's and the SC/ST always wins as compared to other.
And what is the legal remedy to the seller available under MSME Act if the buyer does not make the payment even after expiry of more than 6 months?
Legal remedies, you have to file a complaint against him. You can do that on MSME Samadhan portal.
And what are the tax benefits available for small businesses? Specifically, somebody is asking.
Specifically for
Tax benefits.
tax
All the tax.
benefit. So all these schemes are for the small businesses only. Anyone can avail any of these schemes suitable to them. Suppose you want to go for a pottery business. So definitely you'll go through Coir Board because they promote the artisans and craftsmen. If you want to go for a setup of a business manufacturing sector, you can go for PMEGP scheme because it is an employment generation program. The amount of project cost is much higher as compared to small product. You are going for a small pan dukan, you can go for PMMY, Mudra loan. 5 lakhs will suffice, 10 lakhs will suffice, depends upon your requirement and your nature of industry.
And how can small business access government grants and incentives?
All has to be accessed through msme.gov.in online. Everything is online. The schemes are mentioned there, the links are given there, you have to do everything online.
And any specific benefits for small business under priority sector lending?
Priority sector, all the MSMEs are covered under priority sector lending. MSMEs are priority sector lending.
And what benefits? Sorry, what is CGTMSE and how does it benefits small businesses?
CGTMSE is credit guarantee scheme. What happens here is if you are taking a loan from the bank will ask for a collateral. Suppose you do not have a collateral with you, which you can offer to the bank. What does CGTMSE schemes does? It gives the bank will give you a loan without collateral, but the collateral, the suppose you default in the MSME defaults in payment of the loan, the the bank will recover that amount from the government because the government gives a guarantee of around 75%. The rest 25%, if the MSME is able to bear, that's well and good. If it's not bear, it becomes bad debt for the bank.
Okay. Okay. And what are the key eligibility checkpoints for claiming subsidies under credit linked capital subsidy scheme?
Basically, for all the schemes you have to be a citizen of India. You have to have a valid Udyam registration certificate. You have to have Aadhaar. These are the basic key points for every scheme. You have to have
Okay.
these three things basically.
And what steps should a small business take to stay compliant while expanding across states? Like GST is there, labor law is there, local registration is there. So specifically in terms of small businesses, what steps they should take so that they are compliant even if they are expanding their boundary from their own, let's say, home state to some other state?
So whatever are the legal regulations, like if you are expanding, so when we talk about GST, if you are in West Bengal and you are expanding to Maharashtra, so if you have a GST in West Bengal, to be tax compliant, you have to take a registration in Maharashtra also. Now, when you are filing your income tax return, you cannot say कि I'm filing for only for West Bengal. Definitely, you have to involve the income of the include the income of Maharashtra state also. Labor laws. Now, whatever the labor laws prevalent in Maharashtra, like the deposit of professional tax, deposit of EPF, whatever are the rates in those state and whatever are the rates in other states, you have to comply with all those things. Now, this varies upon state to state. Because labor laws basically they are the same everywhere, but the contribution somewhere that there's a rate of professional tax deposit, contribution of PF is definitely same everywhere. The rate of professional tax distribution charges slabs, they are different, differ state to state. So I don't think so there's a set of rules which you can be followed if you are expanding. It depends upon where you are expanding internationally, with domestic areas also, which state. So you have to follow the laws of those state.
And with the changing lending landscape, how can MSME improve their credit rating to access better financing options, specifically from NBFCs and fintech platforms?
Now, if you want to improve your credit rating, your payment should be on time. This is the major criteria for improving your credit rating. If you are availing a loan or whatever, if you have any outstanding liabilities, they should be paid off well within time. Your credit rating will automatically be on the top.
Great. And one question is, what proactive role can CA play beyond accounting, especially in helping MSMEs securing funds or let's say structure equity or navigate compliance efficiently?
See, a CA can play a very major role here, like in financing. The first option was financing. So when it comes to taking subsidies and all these things, you have to claim the subsidies. Now, a layman definitely can. It's saying it's easy saying ki you can just go to msme.gov.in and claim your subsidy there, but there are technical difficulties there. You don't know where to click. You don't know what documents to upload. You don't know what resolutions to be while scanning the document. What resolutions are to be used. You can help them in claiming the subsidy, filing the forms. After filing the forms, India is a country where it is online, but it's not still not yet online. Once you file the form online, you have to go to the department also to claim those subsidies. So the small entrepreneurs definitely do not have so much of time that they can run around from one department to another for these small things. You can come into the picture there. You can do that for them. Then you can go to the banks, and banks also make you run a lot for a simple loan also. Although it's very simple, you just have to give your PAN, Aadhaar, and all these things, but still they make you run. आज नहीं कल आना, आज लोन वाला नहीं आया, आज ये नहीं आया. This happens. It happens with me also. So I know. So you can come into picture there. You can do that for them. The entrepreneur doesn't have to come out of his shop. He can just handle his business. You collect all the documents from him and go and make his work easy by contacting the bank, by contacting the industries, by the departments. Until and unless the amount is credited in the bank, you will be only on the forefront. The entrepreneur's name and documents are only with you, but you will be his representative, his or her representative. So this is a very good opportunity. In fact, for startups, if you want to use a start for MSME registration also, in Sikkim, we do Udyam Aadhaar registration. It's very easy. You don't have to bear any cost. 5 minutes work if your internet is working fine enough. Not 5 minutes also, exactly 2 minutes if you have all the data on your table. So you can do the Udyam registration for them. Then you can, like I said, you can claim the subsidy. Yeah, the financial statements are required for some project costs. DPR is required. For PMEGP, you require a DPR, detailed project report. You can prepare those reports for them. There are a lot many avenues for CA in MSME sector.
And one question I would like to ask, among the numerous schemes, government schemes which you have laid down, and obviously they are just a bunch, handful of them. If you just go down the website, different websites, you'll find n number of schemes for startups and MSMEs. So I would like to ask which three offers the highest ROI, or let's say which according to you are the top three schemes, let's say in general, which would give a real business impact for early stage manufacturing or service industries, or let's say MSMEs.
PMEGP is means it is basically used for manufacturing industries, for setting up manufacturing industries. PMMY, although it is a small scale, but it still helps a lot because it provides loans up to 10 lakhs. And then CGTMSE. I'll say CGTMSE is number two, number one. Number two is PMEGP. Number three, PMMY, Mudra loans.
Right. So I think we have one more question left on the deck. And what roles do small businesses play in generating local employment, and how are they supported at the local level?
Small businesses play a major role in generating local employment because they hire local laborers. They don't have so much of funds to pay them high amount of salary, they don't have so much of funds to accommodate. If they bring labor from somewhere outside, workforce from somewhere outside, they have to accommodate them also. Their cost rises up. So they usually look for people in and around the industries or in and around the businesses, so that they don't have to give them accommodation. They don't have to pay for the fooding. Everything will be borne by them. They just have to bear the salary cost. So this thinking, this mentality leads to generation of employment opportunities for the local people. In Sikkim, this is prevalent, and I'm quite sure it's prevalent in other states also. Because small businesses definitely, they always think about cost cutting. How do they cut down their costs? So when they generate local opportunities, definitely the state will also develop.
Right. So a quick reminder for everyone who are there in this webinar today, a quick reminder. Quickly mark your calendars. ICI is already hosting the MSME and Startup Conclave on 26th and 27th June 2025 at Hotel Sahara Star, Mumbai. And also on 27th June, that is on International MSME Day, we are hosting, and rather I would invite to join us for ICAI MSME Mahotsav across all the 179 ICI branches all over India. So there we would be assisting you, everyone, all the MSMEs. You would find ICI and chartered accountants to assist you for Udram registration, tax and compliances, government schemes, and also for funding help if required. It's free walk-in support, any kind of grievance redressal, startup consultations, and many more, which probably can be out of the box, which you can think. So don't miss this opportunity and quickly build your business stronger. And let's empower MSMEs together and obviously make Bharat truly Viksit. So that is from my side. Rana Ravi sir, I think he's not there. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was really grateful to actually take out the time and giving us so much of insight, and that was really helpful for all the practicing CAs, working CAs, because they are people who are associated with MSMEs. They are startup entrepreneurs in the webinar today. They are MSME entrepreneurs in the webinar, and I think your insight might have given them a quick depth of how actually these schemes can be of support, and obviously government of India and state governments, they are standing with them to promote them. It's just that we need to be aware and we need to have a good knowledge so that we are able to be true and we fly really high with our businesses to let's make tell them to be, let's make them to be unicorns, or let's say next, which should have a good valuation. So thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much.